Alright then, ladies and gents, hello and welcome to Crypto Space. So in today's video we are going to cover Kaspa, its recent price action. We are going to cover a couple of bullish news, I believe, and on the top of that we are going to cover Kaspa's metrics, and of course we are going to have a look at a couple of interesting Bitcoin and altcoin charts too. Guys, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and a quick disclaimer that this video is not financial advice. And now let's hop into the news right away. So guys, first of all, the new listing on CoinW, I believe that is quite important. Obviously more liquidity is going to come into Kaspa with time, of course, but that is definitely something great to hear finally. Of course it's not Coinbase and Binance. I believe that these are going to come in foreseeable future. However, this is what we've got at the moment, and I believe that this is still great news. And now check this out.
My personal wish is to see eventually like a stable coin like USD, a non-stable coin like USDT on operating on KRC20, and I think that will be just like a blast for usability.
Might happen sooner than you think.
KRCD.
So what I was saying,
we just had a leak though. I see. He just said it might happen faster than you think. That means they're already working on it. That's just a leak right there. I saw that. Shy. You guys
I just shared a general observation. Don't read too much into it.
Love it.
So basically Shai gave us a hint over here saying that we are going to see that USDT on KRC standard, which is obviously going to be huge, guys. The overall ecosystem of Kaspa is going to grow, and especially in the month of June we are going to have these KRC20 standards finally announced, hopefully in coming days. And now guys, let's have a look at some metrics for Kaspa. So the current reward is currently sitting at 104 Kaspa. The next reward is 98 Kaspa. The next reduction is scheduled in 23 days. We are sitting at 83% mined Kaspa, and hash rate is sitting at 304 per hash per second. All-time high is sitting at 342 per hash per second. Now guys, a quick update of addresses holding over 10k. So on the 9th of June we're sitting at 76,640, and as of today, 12th of June, we are sitting at 76,750, which gives us 110 new holders. And if it comes to 100k holders, we are sitting at 30 negative holders. Obviously we cannot really expect every single day of being positive. However, if you guys are going to look at that accumulation on a zoomed out picture, I believe that this is quite bullish on its own. Now let's actually have a look at the quick market. So Kaspa is actually over here in the green. We've got bread going upwards, Pepe, Bonk, etc. And now let's finally have a look at a Kaspa's chart. So that is a 2-hourly time frame, and now guys, that is that cap and handle that we were talking about before. And now we do have a little bit of bullishness because we broke above that handle pattern for Kaspa, and now we are going upwards, right? We obviously got pullback and we tested this level as a support, and now looks like Kaspa is gearing towards the upside. Now on the 2-hourly time frame, well, looks like soon we are going to experience a little pullback. Nevertheless, that is only a 2-hourly time frame. Let's actually have a look at 4-hourly time frame. So on the 4-hourly time frame, similar picture is brewing, right? We are in that oversold area and we can technically expect a pullback. Nevertheless, this is a short time frame as well. However, if you guys are going to look at the standpoint of daily, this is a totally different picture, because at the moment we are in the oversold area for Kaspa, which means that most likely sooner or later, I believe we are going to experience the next leg up for Kaspa. We still haven't officially, experienced that bullish cross, so, not a huge reason to be excited. Nevertheless, I believe that sooner or later we will, right? And that is going to be major fireworks for Kaspa, in my personal humble opinion. So when that is going to happen, most likely we are going to be gearing up for that resistance, which is all-time highs as well, 18 cents for Kaspa, and hopefully at that time we are going to finally break that resistance, which sits at 18 cents. Let's quickly have a look at the weekly chart, guys. So what is the weekly chart actually brewing, right? First of all, let's actually have a look at the stochastic RSI. So the blue line is escaping significantly. That is great, obviously. The orange one cannot really catch up with that. In my eyes, we still have some fuel to go for Kaspa on the weekly. And now let's have a look at the things from the perspective of the rainbow. So if we are going to expect a similar pump reaching the orange line of that rainbow that we have experienced on the 13th of November, we can expect Kaspa trading at 40 cents of a dollar before it's going to pull back again. So guys, I believe that this is quite bullish for Kaspa. Of course, we cannot, expect a huge pumps for Kaspa because that is a project that is going to grow naturally. Nevertheless, Kaspa is looking bullish, and to conclude, I believe we still do have a little bit of fuel to go with this current pump. Now let's actually have a look at ETF inflows, or actually outflows. Yesterday we saw $200 million of outflows for BTC, and that in my opinion is manipulation. But I'm not the only one that thinks that way, because Mr. Crypto on X is saying exactly the same thing. He's saying that this Bitcoin dump is a huge trap. You still have 24 hours left to prepare. Let's have a look at his chart, guys. All right, that is a daily chart. So on a Wednesday, January 31st, right, we have FOMC meeting, we dipped at 10%, and what happened after that? Boom, we saw a huge parabola, right? Then we have FOMC meeting over here, right? And then on Wednesday, March 20th, we had a huge pump. Well, after that, roughly. Now, Tuesday, 2nd of May, well, what we saw, a pump, right? And now we've got a 4% dip, well, sitting at roughly 67K at the time of recording this video. So, guys, in my personal opinion, that is just manipulation, probably one of the last ones in order to, shake people out of that market, right? So obviously whales can buy at the cheaper prices. And now shout out to the Scalping Pro. He's saying that Bitcoin got another rejection from the range high. Price has been ranging between 60,500 and 71,500 since March, and this is the fourth rejection from the range high. The next important support is near the mid-range, $65,000, which must hold. Ranges are neutral in nature. Guys, I don't want to read the whole thing, but basically, sooner or later we can actually expect the pump. What the Scalping Pro is saying is that, longer we are going in that range, more probable it is that we are going to see the breakout towards the upside sooner rather than later. And now, shout out to El Crypto Prof. FOMC meeting tomorrow, and BTC forms a bullish inverse head and shoulders pattern here. The most FOMC meetings have already marked the low of the left shoulder plus head. Right shoulder next? Probably just a coincidence. So far, these meetings have mostly been bullish for BTC. So obviously that inverse head and shoulders pattern is forming on the daily chart for BTC, and in my personal opinion, we are going to see, pump towards the upside, and that is basically just another shakeout. And now guys, check this out. Do chart patterns still work? Since the bottom, BTC has broken out of every high time frame pattern bullishly. Currently, price is forming a massive inverse head and shoulders pattern near its all-time highs. If the pattern repeats, we are going to see another breakout soon. So guys, let's actually come back to May 2013. So this is when we saw the breakout out of that broadening wedge. That's so cool. All right, then we went to that range, which is, well, pretty much the same thing that's going on at the moment. Nevertheless, after that we had the breakout, right? And that was a boring sideways price action. Nevertheless, that didn't last forever. After that we saw a pump into the broadening wedge, and we were going sideways for a while, and then we saw a breakout towards the upside, which is this current zone in which we are currently at. So guys, do you believe that this is going to be a different than all of these times? Because in my personal humble opinion, not really. And now, weekly chart for BTC. Shout out to El Crypto Prof. He's saying that this is the first time in BTC's history that the BBWP indicator shows 4 blue bars on a weekly chart. We are talking about a volatility indicator here, which means the more bars, the more volatility we can expect. Above EMA 20 line, it has always been bullish so far. Guys, another thing that is actually pointing out to the fact that we might gonna see the pump in the foreseeable future. And that occurred in 2016, 2020, 2023, and most likely it's going to occur in 2024. And now guys, let's actually have a look at altcoins that are excluding top 10. So again, similar like with Kaspa chart, we do have that cap and handle pattern. Nevertheless, on a weekly time frame, we are in that lower range of that handle for altcoins. Nevertheless, on a weekly time frame, we have properly bottomed out, right? And every single time we have bottomed out like that, Of course, you know, that was, as you guys can see, there wasn't exactly the same move because we do have roughly different shapes. After that, we saw a huge parabolic moves for altcoins, right? Every single time we have pretty much bottomed out on a weekly. So in my opinion, that is just a matter of time when we are going to see a huge parabola for altcoins. And of course for Kaspa, because I believe at the moment this is the best macro chart for Kaspa. So now the technical target for this breakout, of course a longer term, would be roughly 1.4 trillion USD, which is also going to coincide with that ascending trend line for alts. So we can technically expect alts, excluding top 10 of course, peaking at around 1.7 trillion USD for this cycle. Ladies and gents, thank you very much for watching this quick Kaspa, Bitcoin and altcoin updates. I hope that you have guys enjoyed it, and I wish you have a great day. Peace and love, crypto.